SBN, Sports Business Now. SBN is a division of Row 27, the digital sports marketing company, celebrating 5 years of creating TV spots, intro videos, and microsites for over 150 teams. See our work at row27.com. And by FanMaker, digital marketing tools for sports teams, featuring FanMaker Rewards, the most comprehensive and popular fan loyalty and reward system. Learn more about our apps at fanmaker.com. SBN, Sports Business Now.
Hey sports fans, welcome to SBN Live episode 42. My name is Max Huber. I am your host today. This is where sports marketing and technology meet. Joined as always by Katia. Katia, thanks for joining us.
Max. Of course.
And we're also joined, I would like to welcome Travis Llewellyn, an assistant commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference, to us today.
Glad to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Travis is in the down in their main office down in New Orleans right now in the Superdome. And Travis, I know that football season's underway for all the schools. We got basketball right around the corner. Just give us an update. How are things going with the Sun Belt Conference this year?
Well, actually, things are going great, and I'm really glad you asked that because right now we have the second most victories all time in football right now, and we just had another Tuesday night game this week, and I tell you what, it's been terrific. It's been a great season so far, when you look at how we're doing against our peer conferences, it's incredible. So, very exciting year so far.
Great. Travis, tell us a little bit about the rebranding of the conference. I know you guys got a new logo recently, and what initiated that, and what are the changes?
Well, when Carl Benson, our commissioner, came on board, we decided to, he led the charge of, a rebranding of the league and almost kind of like a rebirth and really talking about all the exciting things that are happening with the Sun Belt. And, taking a look, we have a new logo, we have a new office space, a lot of exciting things happening. So when you take a look at it and see what's happening, it really is kind of great. And, we had a company, SME, come in and do that marketing for us. It really is incredible. And I think, when you take a look at the new logos, patches, the fields, it's a very exciting time for us.
One of the other interesting things is some of the moves in football. You guys, it was Idaho and New Mexico State were kind of out on their own. You guys brought them in. How has that been with the footprint of the Sun Belt really growing, especially in football?
Well, let me correct you on that because Idaho and New Mexico State will join the league in 2014.
Oh, that's correct. Okay.
For football. This year, actually, Georgia State and Texas State joined in football and all sports, and UT Arlington joined us in all sports. They currently do not have football. So right now we have 8 football members and 11 members total across all the other sports except for football. So, but yes, in 2014 we'll add Idaho, New Mexico State, as well as Appalachian State and Georgia Southern to the league as well. So very exciting. We'll be 11 football playing institutions in 2014 and beyond.
Nice. I'm getting ahead of myself, especially. I've got a little grudge against App State as I grew up a Michigan fan, so watching them win a couple years ago was a knife to the chest. But one of the things we were talking about before we came on air was the bowl presence of the Sun Belt. Some big news for the conference, especially with Camellia Bowl. You've got the Bahamas Bowl. Just give us an update on the whole situation with that. I know that you guys have some bowls under your belt and then also some affiliations.
Well, obviously, we have the New Orleans Bowl, which we've been partnered with since 2001. And then in addition to that, we have the GoDaddy Bowl based in Mobile, which has been a great primary partner as well. And then starting in 2014, the Sun Belt and the MAC will participate in the Camellia Bowl, which is in Montgomery. So that's tremendous for us. I'll also previously announced is we're in the rotation for the Bahamas Bowl, and announced today we're in the rotation for the Miami Beach Bowl as well.
Very cool. Well, hopefully you got your swim trunks packed and you get a trip to the Bahamas, or all these places that you're naming. It's a lot warmer than we are in Minneapolis right now. So I think Katia and I are a little bit jealous about the prospects of some warm weather football.
Yeah, maybe you need some interns. We can help out over there.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people on the Road 20 staff have come down to New Orleans and done some great work for us, and I'll tell you, you guys are always welcome down here anytime.
Perfect. You heard it. We will. I'll talk to my boss, Jason. He'll send us down there. But let's move on to our first story of the day. And this involves my favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. It wasn't a good outcome for the Vikings, but a pretty interesting outcome on the social side here from the New York Giants. They put together a photo timeline after their game, a great way to show the action of the game with pictures and descriptions of the action. I'm going to have Joe bring this up in just a second here. But all these teams, conferences, leagues going very video heavy, and it's just an interesting take for the Giants to go photo heavy. As you see here, they've got a picture here of Eli Manning making a pass, touchdown. So very vibrant, colorful images, but kind of a step back almost in my mind from how a lot of places are going. Katia, what are your thoughts on what the Giants are doing here?
Well, I really love it. I mean, I really did not want to relive this game and thinking over that, but I think the pictures and the updates are great, and it's a great way to just really incorporate and watch the game if you missed it maybe. And videos can get kind of old, and especially if you just want a quick snapshot. I think they're great shots and a great update for people. So I think other teams should incorporate this for sure. Yeah,
and like you said, it's not something that any Vikings fan wants to relive, but what can you do? Travis, what are your thoughts on this, being kind of a, tech-savvy guy yourself, just kind of this step towards the photo descriptions for a game?
That's dangerous. You're calling me tech-savvy. Now I'm kind of worried. No, actually, to be honest with you, I think it's really cool because, everyone sees videos and we're so used to videos. But I'll tell you what, a lot of times photos, especially still picture, can bring out so much raw emotion. So I think what the Giants are doing and able to show the progress of a game, I think that's really cool. And I think especially if they're looking to integrate this in social media-wise, to share photos, I think it's terrific for them.
Travis, what are some of the digital aspects that you're incorporating over at the Sun Belt?
Well, I think the one thing that we're really trying to do is increase our social media presence. And also I think that we're trying to make more of a push this year in terms of how we're trying to share videos socially, how we're trying to do more YouTube more than ever on our YouTube page right now. And I think that's been really great for us to put out more highlights and even just taking our teleconferences and sharing them on YouTube as well. I think we've really seen an increase in terms of not just having it in a hub on one site. For the longest time we were just going, okay, we just want to push everybody to our official athletic website. But now it's more of a, look, let's make sure we put this in every medium that we can and put it in fans' hands and make sure that it's so important to us, really, to make sure that it's in tablet and handheld devices and smartphones because, everyone now is on the go. Everyone's going through Twitter. Everyone's going through their Facebook pages. We want to make sure that after a game ends or the next day or on Monday that they can go, hey, I want to see I want to go ahead and see the Cajuns and the Red Wolves highlights. Hey, the video's posted on YouTube. They posted on Twitter about it. I want to watch it right now. So that's the main thing that we're really trying to do to make sure that we are sharing all the video content we can socially.
Yeah, you've got a great point with everything that's out there social media-wise. Somebody might not think right away to go to this site or that site. Maybe they've got Twitter up on their phone. They're able to digest that right there. So, obviously with you guys, I don't know how big your staff is, but to cover all of those aspects, it's a lot of work to do. But like you said, you're getting it into the hands and into the brains of your fans out there.
Well, I think, we're lucky in terms of that we do have a company digitally capturing games for us. So that really alleviates it. I mean, that, really helps you out in terms of just going, okay, I have the highlights or I have the entire game tape. Let's download it and let's get it out there. And I think the one thing also, just to answer, the question that you were talking about in terms of getting it out there, to us, it's what we've really seen is going, obviously everyone wants to go ahead and have as many pages as they can. But what we've noticed is that when and this goes without saying, it's pretty simple though, is that if you put it on as many platforms as you can, you make it as easily as shareable as possible, that increases your fan base, or people not realizing that, hey, look, this is what we're doing, this is what we're putting out there, look for us out there.
Have you noticed an increase in the interest in the conference and just with your fans in general and interacting with them? What have you kind of learned through that?
I think, we have somebody on staff here by the name of Randy Lieberman. I'm going to use an example. Tuesday night we had a game on ESPN 2. Randy's put something out there just going, hey, what a pick. What do you think, fans? Hashtag SC Top 10. Well, what do you think was on SportsCenter on Tuesday night? Randy's tweet. So I think, in terms of putting that out there, engaging with fans, and then seeing how it develops, I think it's really incredible for us.
Very cool. Well, we'll move on to our next story about sports tickets and StubHub expanding their presence in the NCAA market. Everybody knows that the main push for a lot of these teams and organizations is to get it through their first market, their initial market, whether that's Ticketmaster, Pacquiao, and whoever it might be. But now StubHub, owned by eBay, has signed on with a few more schools. They now have 35 institutions in their books, and really we're seeing the expansion of the ticket reseller StubHub in the NCAA market. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, is this a good thing, a bad thing? It can, and I've seen it where you can get a very good priced ticket for high priced games through these resellers, but is it going to drive people to gobble up all the tickets and then end up reselling them, or is this a good thing for fans? We'll start, Travis, with you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's very important also to making sure that you have not only tickets but authentic tickets. I think having, if a university is able to direct something through the proper channels, I think that's what they want to do. But I think primarily, especially in today's day and age when a lot of people are concerned about how they're able to, the in-game experience or are they stay at home and watch television, is making sure that you drive people to your ticket office first. I mean, I understand that, look, World Series, Game 1, yeah, I'm going to look on StubHub. But you want people to go, you want to make sure that people's call to action is always to call your ticket office first. And then, if you have a partner for a secondary site, that you do have an official provider that will authenticate tickets for fans.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up, the make sure you're buying a true ticket, and I think that's where obviously this partnership comes in. Katia, thoughts on this? I know you're a big ticket purchaser yourself.
Yes. I think it's great. It's, again, I agree with Travis with the authentic ticket and making sure that you're not, people aren't going to Craigslist and then buying unofficial tickets, coming to the game and being really disappointed. So in that aspect, I think it's great. Again, I'm curious, Travis, too, how do you encourage people to go to the university sites first and purchase tickets there versus immediately going to StubHub? Is that a concern?
Well, I think that really goes back to what's going on campus and in terms of how they use their websites and social media in terms of, not only television and radio spots as well what's your initial call to action and how you incorporate that. I think a lot of people will think offhand to going, hey, I'll go to StubHub. But I mean, in terms of, you always want to make sure that you have a clear and defined call to action in terms of how those are purchased.
Very cool. Well, we'll see how things keep going. Everybody, there's demand for tickets out there. You mentioned the World Series, the guy that walked away with a $6 ticket. I mean, obviously,
$3 ticket?
I wish that would have been me. Hell, I would have flown out to Boston for that. It ended up that they put the ticket back in the system, but StubHub, did the right thing, gave the guy a ticket, a comparable ticket to that. So very cool for him, and a find like that comes around once in a lifetime, I suppose. So. Let's talk about the NBA. They are nearing a deal to allow live local streaming league-wide, posed to become the first major U.S.-based pro sports league to allow its games to be streamed live locally. The league is finalizing TV Everywhere deals with Fox Sports Media Group and NBC Sports Group, the country's two biggest owners of regional sports networks. This just gives users that many more ways to watch their game, whether it's a second screen, whatever it might be. But it'll be interesting to see if more leagues, organizations follow suit. I know a lot of colleges and other groups already do streaming, legal streaming. I mean, there's always a way that you can pirate the system. But
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We'll let go to Katia first, and then get some of Travis's interesting thoughts on this.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a great opportunity, especially for the NBA, because they have so many games. It's not the Sunday football ticket where everyone's tuning in. It's a great opportunity for people to really engage in all the games, and I really hope that other leagues, especially MLB, again with all those games, take place. Yeah.
Could you, Katia, see yourself? You're at let's say you're at a Vikings game, but you really want to keep track of your Timberwolves. Could you see yourself watching the T-Wolves game while at a Vikings game at the same time?
Personally, no. I think that if you're at a game, you should be engaged and really pay attention to more what's going on the field or on the court versus on your phone, which is a big concern that's happened a lot with people just being into the game, but not really because they're on their phones and tweeting about it constantly. So I think in that sense, it's great, but I don't know if I'd pay extra for it to have on my mobile device.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're a hardcore fan or you get dragged along to a nephew's birthday party or something and you really want to watch the game, it's going to be great for them. Travis, thoughts on this? And I heard you peep up over there when I mentioned the illegal streaming, so let's go to you.
Well, first of all, with on Katia's point, this will go to the next thing, is that can she actually see the game while she's in the stadium? So that's a whole other thing. I know that's another storyline coming up here. So,
right.
But no, I was laughing about the streaming because we used to be behind a paywall on streaming, and we're not anymore. And for the future, we won't be either. And as soon as we put that stream out, somehow, some way, there was websites, offshore websites that would be hacking into it, and then we just see on message boards, hey, don't pay anything, you watch here for free. So I know exactly kind of about that, and that's why I was kind of chuckling about it. But in terms of the pro sports leagues, I think that's so important for the fans these days. And it doesn't matter what the contracts say or what's going on. And the really important thing is that you're giving the fans what they want, and what they want is to be able to see their game anytime, anywhere, any place. And that, hey, if I'm a subscriber to cable or satellite provider, and I get it at home, I want to be able to see it on my mobile device, and that's what's important to fans.
Yeah, I'm a DirecTV guy, and I get DirecTV Sunday Football to my phone, which is pretty cool. So I know exactly what you're saying. If I subscribe, I should be able to watch it however, wherever I want. Travis, you did mention when you were talking to Katia there about, are you actually going to be able to watch it in the stadium? The NFL, transitioning over to that, is requiring minimum Wi-Fi and cell standards throughout all of the football stadiums by the end of the 2014 season. The latest move by America's top sport to improve the in-game experience. We talk about second screen. You talk about I was just at a college football game in another state and tried to send some photos, some text messages to people, and I had zero service. It was mind-boggling. It drove me nuts. But with this move by the NFL, they're really going to make a step in the right direction for that fan experience, and especially you guys down there in the Superdome. Travis, what are your thoughts on this? And obviously, in my mind, it's a good thing, and I suppose it is for you too. It's
a great thing, and it's something that's needed for fans, especially at the NFL level, and and it's trickling down to college as well in terms of how can you increase cellular and wireless in arena and in stadium, because it's so important to fans now to be able to have that second screen experience even while they're in venue. And I think it's going to go beyond that in terms of fans being able to have second screen experiences that work with the in-game promotions and marketing. So I think it's very critical, in terms of that. Fans today are used to being able to check their emails or see this or see that, and then to go to a stadium and just become a black hole, is something that fans don't want today. Yeah,
I definitely agree with what you're saying there. Katia, thoughts?
I definitely agree with both of you. I think it's a great opportunity, and I also think it's going to be interesting to see how the marketing departments use that resource like Travis said, to incorporate more in-game text alerts. And there's always the in-games, like text your favorite song in the third quarter, we'll play it. If you can't send a text message, you can't really incorporate yourself into that promotion. So I think it'll be really interesting. It's going to grow even more with just the mobile network that we're in. I think the next kind of thing that's going to happen is definitely outlets in every seat, and make sure you can charge your phone, because I know it drains your battery crazy being at those stadiums.
Yeah. So it's a good thing, and I think that after we see this with the NFL, you're going to see it with NBA, MLB, all sorts of those, and then a lot of our major college conferences. So it's a great thing. Travis, any last-minute updates for us before we end the show today about the Sun Belt, or just things down there for you guys?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think one of the things also I just want to mention is that we do have our men's and women's basketball championships coming to New Orleans, first of a 3-year deal here in March, and I think that's going to be terrific. And we're looking forward to having a great tournament down here. And I'll tell you what, ball championships are just around the corner. We have our cross country and volleyball championships at Troy University, soccer championships at Texas State. So it's a very exciting time.
Very cool. And when it brings me back to when I was at the University of North Dakota, and when you'd go to conference championships, it gets exciting for the staff, for the players, for the fans, everybody. So best of luck to all the Sun Belt teams. Make sure to follow all of our friends here on Twitter. It's at Katia_Dimitra, and it's at @the_sun_belt. You can also check him out at sunbeltsports.com. And Travis, I think it's
.org.
Yeah.
Sunbeltsports.org.
.org, excuse me. Man, I am just screwing up. If I didn't have Travis over here, I don't know where I'd be. And Travis is TR Llewellyn, @TR Llewellyn for Twitter, so make sure to check him out. I want to thank everybody for watching. Check us out on Twitter at SB Now, online at sportsbusinessnow.com. And then tune in next Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, with an all-new edition of SBN Live.
SBN, Sports Business Now.